Okay, so I want to analyze Gbpjpy here for you, and I want to show you something very brief that you should know on charts. So I'm going to break it down for you so that you can understand clearly what's happening in the market. So I'm going to the monthly time frame. Why am I going to the monthly time frame? Why am I going to the monthly time frame? I want you to see the overall trend of the markets. I want you to see it yourself. What is currently happening in the market? I want you to see. So you can see this is GJ. This is how the price of GJ have moved so far. So all the candles you see here is for a month. It's moving for a month. It's opening and closing for a month. So what is happening here? We can see I did something that is marvelous and amazing to my trade. I'm following the overall trend of the market. Let's say following the overall trend, what I mean is that if I see a buy, like this particular buy, what I do is I only want to be buying, and even if I see a minor pullback as a sell, I would not love to enter. This is what I've been doing, and it has been helping me. It has been helping me. Let's say I see a major pullback before I can enter for a buy or for a sell. But right now, currently, what we can see here is GBPJPY is currently uptrending, is buying. And all we want to see is for it to buy to specific resistance zones before we can sell. You understand what I'm saying? It's for it to sell to specific resistance zone before we can sell. So like this resistance zone right now, this particular resistance zone, I will be taking my profit. Whichever trade I'm on, I'll be taking my profit at this particular resistance zone, not this mini one, this outer one, this resistance point. I'll be taking my profit at that resistance point. Let me mark up for you what I am saying, the resistance point which I am saying. So this particular resistance point, I'll be taking my profit here. I'll be taking my profit. So once it breaks again, once the price breaks, it managed to break this zone again, then I'll continue to buy to the upside. So this is what I'll be doing for the moment. So since I know I'll be buying, all I'm going to do now is when I go to the 4 hour and I go to the 1 hour, I know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a buy. You understand what I'm saying? I'm looking for a buy to that particular zone. Not this one. I'm looking for a buy to this particular zone here, to this particular resistance point. So all I'll be doing on the 4 hour time frame is to mark out my point also on the 4 hour time frame, then go to the lower time frame of like the 50-minute time frame, like the 50-minute time frame and the 45-minute time frame, then to check for a pleasant entry. So this is how I get this particular entry. So I'm going to delete this entry which I've marked out. I'm going to delete my markout and I'm going to mark it out for you afresh so you know the reason why I'm about to buy. I showed you one main reason why I'm buying already, because this particular GBPJPY is bullish. It means the Great British Pound is very strong right now compared to the Japanese yen. So that's why we are seeing it. Well, that's what their currency is doing. And these candles here you see is the representation of what's happening in that particular country or in their country, what's happening with their economy right now. So this is what the chart is bringing out to us. This is what the chart is telling us. So there's no need for we to argue with what we are seeing here. All the chart is here to do is to tell us what's happening in the economy of that particular people and what is happening in the mind of everyone which is participating in this particular market. That's why we are seeing the drop, the ups and the down, the ups and the down. So, well, with no much talk, let's see. So we have a break of structure here. Signifies this or signify or identify that it signals that we are still bullish, which is we are buying even on the 4 hour time frame. So the break of this particular zone means we are still making higher highs and higher lows. So making higher highs and higher lows, let's go to the current trend and let's mark out this particular high that led to the break of that structure. So we call it what a protected low, because that's the outer protected low. And I'm going to show you something here, which is the inner break of structure. So if we want to use this outer one, it's gonna be from this high to this low. You understand what I'm saying? It's gonna be from this high to this low, and our entry is going to be from this 61 to my 38. So these are is though this all these zones they are still valid. You understand what I'm saying? All these zones they are valid, but the problem now is where are we to choose? So all these zones are valid. Let the price breaks this low, this previous low. Then I know there's a change of character before we can continue selling. But right now that the price have not break that particular low, all these zones are valid. So where are we to buy? This is where a lot of people get confused. So since all these zones are valid, then it means we should buy from the top here so that I won't miss out of the market, we won't miss out of that particular trend. So once you are buying from here now, and your SL should be below this particular low, because you know that once the price breaks below this low before, it's no longer valid. You understand? So if you put the price anywhere, your SL anywhere here now, and the price comes to take you out, you can still continue going back up. Or it comes here and make equal low, then it still continue going. So it's still gonna take you out. You understand? So where are we to buy? That's the point of interest. Where is the point of interest? Where are we interested in buying this particular market? That's where a lot of people get confused. So I'm gonna break it down for you here, how you can know where particularly or where exactly you need to buy the market. So I'm not gonna buy at this particular zone, but let's leave it out here. And what is gonna happen is that I'm gonna bring back my previous Fibonacci. So once I bring back the previous Fibonacci, I'm gonna decrease it, because me, I use the three zone mostly. So this three zone, you can see that it has tapping, but I've worked on my strategies and I've worked on my head. I've seen that whenever I use this outer zone, the price always takes me out before it keeps going. Because, and one thing again is, I want to accept the risks of this particular trade before going in. So I'm not gonna take my risks to this low because it's too high. You understand? I'm not gonna take my risk to this low, it's too high, and I'm not gonna go below here just because I wanna get the trade. It can come back, it can reverse here and take me out, then keep pushing to the upside. So I'm going to show you the simple strategies I use in getting my entry. So this is what I do. I go to the lower time frame. Since I know we are bullish on from the higher time frame, I go more to the lower time frame. And to the lower time frame, what the lower time frame does for me is it shows me internal structures. So I want to use here as my you know, protected high low again. So I can use mini zones for my protected low. You understand? So this is the low that led to a break of structure here. So I'm not using the outer break of structure anymore. I'm using the inner break of structure. So we are working with this inner break of structure. You understand? This is the trick now. We are working with this inner break of structure. We are no longer working with the outer break of structure. So since we are not working with the outer break of structure, we are looking for the low that led to this break of structure. And the low that led to the break of structure is this particular low here. So this low is what led to the push to break this structure here. So we are using that particular low as our break of structure. Using now our Fibonacci to draw from that low to this particular low here. That high, this side to this particular low here. You understand? So, and I'll be marking out my point of interest on this particular low, which is 61.50 and my 38 level. So since I'm using this particular level, since I'm doing to this particular level, what's going to happen is that I'm going to delay. So this is what I was saying. This is what I was saying. I said once you buy here, the price might down to come down to this particular level. You see now, takes you out before going to your zone. So what's going to happen is you're not going to use this zone. This particular zone is kind of like a setup. So I'm going to delete there, using there as a liquidity. If the price comes there before going back up, fine. If it doesn't come there before going back up, fine. Then we'll miss the entry, and once we miss the entry, there is no need. Like we just have to wait for, something else before we go in on a buy again. So I'm gonna call here my liquidity zone. So once I call here my liquidity zone, I'm just gonna wait for what's gonna happen. I'm gonna wait for what's gonna happen here. So I'll be buying from here. I'm not gonna use this zone as my protected low anymore. I'm gonna use this low as my protected low, bringing my SL below there, and I'll be bringing my I'll be bringing my take profits to this particular high, or yeah, I'll be bringing my take profit to that particular high, and I might even decrease my SL a bit and decrease my entry. So you can see now that the price, what I'm waiting for is just to take out this low here and tap in the this point of interest. So this here is the point of interest. So once you tap in the point of interest here, what I'm doing is I'm buying from here. So just take note and stay active. You can turn on notification bell. So I'll drop my entry. I might drop my entry. So when I drop my entry, you just get in on a buy also. That's why I said we'll be buying for now because the overall trend is buying. So I don't see any reason why we'll be selling. We'll just be buying from this particular zone to the high there. So let's see how it goes, guys. I'll catch you in my next video and stay safe. You can just mark out your zone also, and I'll catch you in my next video. So peace.